Hi, this is Pam from Woodcamper Crafts, where all of my crochet patterns are inspired by nature. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make the Barkley Baby Beanie, named after Barkley Sound on the west coast of beautiful Vancouver Island. This hat is very easy to make and was designed for beginner crocheters. Before we get started, you'll need a few things: a 6.5mm crochet hook for the band, a 9mm crochet hook for the hat, stitch marker which is placed on the first stitch in each row, a darning needle, scissors, a pom-pom maker, and you can also add a handmade tag if you'd like. For this pattern, I'm using Lion Brand's Wool Ease Thick and Quick yarn, which is a super bulky yarn and comes in a ton of different colors. The size of the hat is 6 to 12 months. You can also get the written pattern in my Woodcamper Crochet Crafts Etsy shop, where I'll provide additional instructions for 12 to 18 months. We're going to be working the hat from the bottom up. So grab your 6.5mm hook and your yarn and let's get started. For this video, I'm using the off-white yarn. It's just easier to see. So we're going to start by doing our slip knot. Get our yarn on our hook there, just tighten it up. And we're going to start by chaining 6. So yarn over, pull through as 1, yarn over, pull through as 2, yarn over, pull through as 3, yarn over, pull through as 4, 5, and 6. So we have a chain of 6. Our band is made up of 36 rows. Each row has 5 single crochet per row. We've started by chaining 6 because our first single crochet is going to be in the second loop from the chain. So here's your first loop, here's your second loop. So let's insert our hook into that second loop, yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both loops to complete our first single crochet. So let's go into the next chain here, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. So once again, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both loops. So we have 3 single crochet. Let's keep going, 4, and our very last one is 5. So we're at the end of our row now. At the end of every row, we're going to be doing a chain 1, and then we're going to turn. The rest of the band consists of single crochets working in the back loop only. So in order to identify your back loop, it really helps to look at your work from the top. From the top here, you can see that is your front loop and your back loop, your front loop and your back loop, front loop and your back loop. So we're going to go into this first back loop here. So back loop only, yarn over and pull through. You've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. So once again, working in your back loops only, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. So let's look at it from the top, find our back loop, insert your hook into your back loop only, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. So we have 3, we have 2 more to do here. So that's going to be 4 and 5. So at the end of our row here, I'm going to let you keep working on this on your own. So just remember, at the end of every row, you chain 1. There are 5 single crochets in each row. And when we're working our single crochets, we're working in our back loop only. So you can pause this video and join me when you're done. We're going to be doing 36 rows, and if you lose track, there's an easy trick for counting your rows. So just have a look at my hat here. You can see kind of this ridged pattern that the band creates. So if you've lost track, each ridge here is 2 stitches. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's a really easy technique for counting the rows in your band. So I'll meet you at the end of the band. I've now completed my band. I have 36 rows in my band. If you need to make sure you have enough rows, once again, you can just count these ridges here. Each ridge is 2 stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8. When we're joining the band, we need to line up our last row here with our chain that we started with. You want to hold it like this so your hook is closest to you on the right-hand side. If you did a chain 1 at the end of your row, we're actually just going to take that out. We don't want that chain 1 in here. So we're going to insert our hook. And what you do is we have 5 stitches in our row and our 5 chains over here that we started with, and we're going to just line them up. We're going to be joining this band with a simple slip stitch. When you're doing the slip stitch, we're going to actually be inserting our hook. So in our first stitch right here, but instead of working in the back loops like we did for the band, we're going to be working under both loops. So we're going to be inserting our hook under both loops. When you're matching it up with a chain and you're finding your chain here, we're actually just working under 1 loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. First one needs a helping hand there. And there we have our first slip stitch to join our band. So let's find the next one. Here's our next stitch. We're working under both loops there. Let's find our chain, match it up with the chain. We're going under just the 1 loop, yarn over, and pull through. Let's go into the next one. Here's our next stitch under both loops, but we're only going under 1 loop in the chain. Yarn over and pull through. We have 2 more. Let's find the next one here under both loops, match it up with the chain, which is right there under 1 loop, yarn over and pull through. And then we have our very last one. We're going under both loops here, matching up with just a single loop from the chain, yarn over and pull through. We've now joined our band. You can see the slip stitch here. We don't want that visible, so we're actually going to turn the band inside out. We're going to be working with the finished side facing us. So we've now joined the band and we're going to get ready to start row 1. We joined the band and we're ready to start row 1. For the band, we were using a 6.5mm hook. For the body of the toque, we're going to be moving over to our 9mm hook. So grab your 9mm hook and let's start row 1. In the band, we have 36 rows. In row 1, we're going to have 36 stitches. We're going to be using the single crochet in row 1. You're placing a single crochet at the top of every row in your band. When you're looking at the band, it looks like you have these ridges and then a valley, a ridge and a valley. So you're placing your single crochet at the top of the ridge here and the top of the valley. When you're trying to figure out where to place your hook, in the valley, I'm putting it just under this 1 loop. There's a big hole there. It's easy to find. So if we look at our next valley, you can see there's a big hole, just 1 loop. We're going under there. And then there's the next one. When you're looking at the ridges, it's a little bit harder. I place my hook, and you don't have to do this, but I place my hook under this single loop here. I just find that it creates a nicer look to your hat. It's got less holes in it. If you can't find this loop, And also, often it's sometimes hard to get under this loop. So here's that loop here. When you're looking over here, here's that loop. So I go under that loop. If that's not working out for you, you can just stick your hook at the top of your ridge and put it in anywhere it will go. That works too. Use whatever technique works best for you. So we're going to start this row. We start every row by chaining 1. So here's the top of my ridge. I'm going to insert my hook right here. And we're doing a single crochet, which is a yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. So we're at the top of the ridge here. If you want, just stick your hook in anywhere, wherever it's easiest, or you can follow my method. And I'm going under just this 1 loop here. I usually use my finger to help pull it out and get my hook in. It is going to be a little bit more work. So yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops to complete our single crochet. We're in our valley now. You can see that hole. It's easy to identify. Insert your hook. Yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. So we're at the top of our ridge here. You can see I've pulled this out a bit just to make it easier for me. Underneath this single loop, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. So I'm going to keep doing this all the way around until I have 36 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end of the row. I've finished row 1. I have 36 single crochets in my row. If you lost track and need to count your stitches to make sure you have 36, you can do that too. It's very important to make sure you have 36, so if you have too few or too many, take out the row and start over. When you're counting the stitches in your row, make sure that you don't count that chain 1. So there's your chain 1, and here's the first stitch in the row. So that's 1, 2, 3, and you count all the way around to your last stitch to make sure you have 36. We're going to join this row with a slip stitch. So if you are counting your stitches, do it before you join the row. You don't want to accidentally count the slip stitch as 1 stitch. So to join the row, we're going to join it to the first stitch in the row. So remember, identify your chain 1. There's our chain 1. And then our next stitch is our first stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops to join my row and complete my slip stitch. Row 2 is a row of half double crochets. So we're using the half double crochet stitch in the rest of the hat. There's going to be 36 half double crochets in row 2. I start every row by chaining 1. And then my first stitch is going to be in the same stitch my chain is coming out of. So this is my first stitch. This is not here. So make sure you're going into the stitch your chain is coming out of. So for half double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that first stitch, yarn over and pull through the stitch. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Just getting stuck here, there we go. And for our next one, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Once again, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So I've done 3 half double crochets. I'm going to continue all the way around the row so that I have 36 half double crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of row 2. I've finished row 2. I have 36 half double crochets in row 2. I just left this here so I can show you before I join it with a slip stitch that I'm always finishing in the stitch before the stitch my chain is coming out of. So that's a good way of telling when you've reached the end of your row. I do recommend counting your stitches though, or using a stitch marker to make sure that you have 36 stitches in the row. It's very important to have the correct amount of stitches. So we're going to join this row as we do every row with a slip stitch. So insert your hook into the first stitch in the row. Remember, you can count up your chain. It's a chain 1. Your first stitch is the stitch after your chain. So we're yarning over here and we're pulling through both loops on our hook to join the row with a slip stitch. So the next 2 rows, 3 and 4, are exactly the same. We're going to do 36 half double crochets in each row. Since you know how to do it already, I'm going to let you work through row 3 and 4 on your own, and I'll meet you at row 5. So just a few things to remember. Start every row by chaining 1. Your first half double crochet goes right here, which is the stitch your chain is coming out of. When you get to the end of the row, you're going to be finishing in the stitch before the stitch your chain is coming out of, and you're going to be joining your row with a slip stitch. So I'll let you work on that. You can pause the video and I will meet you at row 5. I've completed row 3 and 4. I have 36 half double crochets in each row. I'm now going to start row 5, which is also 36 half double crochets, but before I start the row, I'm going to change my color. If you've already completed your slip stitch to join the row, let's just take it out here. We'll insert our hook back in, and I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch in the chain, and instead of yarning over with my old color here, I'm going to yarn over with my new color. I'm going to use blue for this video just because it's easier to see. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to hold the end of my new color and the end of my old color in my right hand. And I'm going to pull through both loops to complete my slip stitch. I've now changed colors and I'm going to start row 5. Start with a chain 1. And then we're doing 36 half double crochets. So yarn over, insert into the same stitch your chain is coming out of, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to complete your half double crochet. So once again, yarn over, insert into your next stitch, yarn over and pull through the stitch. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 to complete your half double crochet. I'm going to continue doing this. I'll let you do this on your own. Once again, we're going to do 36 half double crochets, and we're going to join row 5 with a slip stitch at the end. I'm going to meet you back here at the start of row 6, where we're going to start our decrease for our hat. So you can pause this video, and I'll meet you at row 6. We've completed row 5. We have 36 half double crochets in our row and we've changed over to our new color. Row 6 is the first row that we start our decrease. Our decrease rows are really simple. So in row 6, we're going to do 4 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together. And we're going to do this all the way around the row. So I'll show you how to do this. We'll start with a chain 1 as we do in every row. Yarn over, insert into the first stitch, which is the stitch your chain is coming out of. Yarn over, and we're going to pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's your half double crochet that you know how to do. We're going to keep doing that until we have 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now that we have 4 half double crochets, we're going to do our first half double crochet 2 together. So there's 2 ways of doing this. There is the traditional method, or there's the method where it's going to be less bulky. We're going to use the less bulky method. If you start by yarning over as you would any half double crochet, we're going to insert our hook into the stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. Instead of completing the half double crochet, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. In the traditional 2 together, you would yarn over, but we're actually just going to insert our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through, so we have 4 loops on our hook. yarn over and pull through all 4. In the traditional method, you would have 5 loops on your hook, but it also makes for a bulkier stitch. So I like this method better. So we're just going to repeat that all the way around this row. We're going to yarn over. Once again, we're doing 4 half double crochets. So I'm going to work with you again through another half double crochet 2 together, and then you can finish the row on your own. So we have 3 half double crochets, 4 half double crochets, and now we're doing our half double crochet 2 together. Once again, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook as we would any half double crochet, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Then instead of yarning over again, we're just going to insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops to complete your half double crochet 2 together. So continue doing this all the way around, and I will meet you at the next row. So once again, you're doing 4 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together all the way around the row. We finished row 6 and we're ready to start row 7. Row 7 is going to be the same as row 6. The only difference is instead of doing 4 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together, we're going to be doing 3 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together all the way around our row. So start as we do every row by chaining 1 and then yarn over, insert into our first stitch, which is the same stitch the chain is coming out of, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So there's your first half double crochet. We're going to continue on and do 2 more. So we have 2 and we have 3. Now our next stitch is going to be the half double crochet 2 together. Remember, we're doing the modified version that's less bulky. We're going to yarn over and insert into our next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Instead of yarning over, we're just going to insert into our next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. So I'm going to let you continue row 7 on your own, and I'll meet you back here for row 8. So you're doing 3 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together all the way around. We finished row 7 and we're just starting row 8. Row 8 is going to be the same as row 7, but instead of doing 3 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together, we're going to do 2 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together all the way around. So start your row by chaining 1, yarn over and insert into the same stitch your chain is coming out of, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So there's 1. We're going to do 1 more. That's 2. And now we're ready for our decrease. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch here, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. And instead of yarning over, we're going to just insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we just have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. So that's the sequence. 2 half double crochets followed by a half double crochet 2 together. I'll let you do this on your own. You can pause the video and I will meet you back here for row 9. We've now completed row 8. We're going to do row 9, which is the very last row in our hat. For row 9, we're going to be doing half double crochet 2 togethers all the way around. So start by chaining 1, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, your first stitch that the chain is coming out of, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Instead of yarning over, you want to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. I find sometimes it gets stuck on this first stitch here. Sometimes we just have to work it through there. So we've completed 1. Let's do our next one. Yarn over and insert our hook. Yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on our hook. Insert our hook into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through. We have 4 loops on our hook and yarn over and pull through all 4 loops to complete our half double crochet 2 together. So I'm going to let you complete row 9 on your own, half double crochet 2 together all the way around, slip stitch to join, and I will meet you at the end and I'll show you how to close the toque and also how to do the pom-pom. I finished row 9, which is the final row in my toque. I'm now ready to close off my toque. So I'm going to start by cutting the yarn. I'm going to leave quite a long tail here and just cut the end of my yarn. And then once I've cut my yarn, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the yarn through my loop here so that I can do a knot. So I'm just going to pull it here and knot it. So I've got a knot, but I also have a hole in the top of my toque, which we need to close off. I like to use just a big needle for this. If you don't have a needle handy, you can just use a crochet hook or whatever you have around. If you have a smaller crochet hook, that works well as well. So I'm going to just thread it through here. And you can see this is where I've tied my knot. I'm going to just be going in and out of the stitches. So here's one stitch I'm going through, and then I'm going to go through the next stitch. So I'm just going back and forth through the stitches. And I'm going to be doing this all the way around my last row here. So I went through that way. I'm going to go back and then back through. I'm doing this all the way around until I get back to the start where my knot was. I think this is my last one here. Oh, I've got one more, so I'm going to do one more here. So I've just weaved the yarn all the way through the stitches, and now I'm going to pull and just tighten. Now, closed off the hole, and what I do is I just go through here, and I'm going to make a knot. Put the needle through and just pull and make a knot. And you're going to put a pom-pom on top, so it doesn't really matter that you've put the knot there on the outside. And then I'm just going to take my needle and stick it through, put my hand up inside, and pull the yarn to the inside of the toque. So I've now closed off my toque, and I'm ready to make and attach my pom-pom.
The last step is making the pom-pom. I'm using the Clover pom-pom maker, which I purchased from Michael's. I love this pom-pom maker. It makes the perfect pom-pom every time. If you need a step-by-step video tutorial on how to use the Clover pom-pom maker, check out my YouTube channel where I have a video called 3 Tips for Making the Perfect Pom-Pom. Keep watching this video till the end because I'm also going to show you how to securely attach the pom-pom to the hat. While you're watching me make this pom-pom, now's a perfect time to thank everyone for their continued support, for watching my videos, liking, and subscribing to my channel.
I've finished my pom-pom. It's had a nice haircut, and now I'm ready to attach it. So when I'm attaching my pom-pom, you have these two strings coming out of your pom-pom. And if you look at the top, I always find the middle or the top, very top of my hat where I tied it. I'm then going to just use my needle again, and I'm going to put the yarn on, just one yarn string, and I'm going to insert it on one side, kind of the middle. So here's the middle, and I'm just going to put this through on one side and pull it out. And then I'm going to grab the other piece of yarn and get it on here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, just on the opposite side of kind of that top. So here's the top. I've put my one string in here, and I'm just going to go on the opposite side over here. You don't want to put it too close together. If you put it too close together, it's going to be a really wobbly pom-pom. You do need to put some space between these two pieces of yarn. So I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to pull it through. And then once we pull it through, I'm just going to knot it. So take the two ends, and I'm just going to tie a knot. And I'm going to probably do that twice, make sure it's nice and secure and it's on there. Our hat, it's almost completed. We've got our pom-pom on. Our last step is just weaving in our ends. So if we look on the inside, we have all these ends in here. If you're a more advanced crocheter, you may weave in the ends as you go. Even though I'm an advanced crocheter, I actually still do it at the end. I don't like weaving my ends in as I go. I prefer to just weave them in at the end. So I'm going to take my needle again. You can see this comes in really handy. And the way I do this is I just weave it under my stitches, kind of in a zigzag pattern. So you can see I've got my stitches here, and I'm just going to weave them under in one direction, under 4 or 5 stitches in one direction, and pull that through. And then I'm going to do that exact same thing, just back in the other direction. So I'm going to find another row of stitches, and I'm just going to weave this under in the other direction. So it's almost like a zigzag pattern back and forth.